What's up guys, welcome back, it's your boy Mondo. On today's episode we have something we don't really see here. It's an 03 Viper. This is a little bit different than the last Vipers I've done because it's actually supercharged. It's going to be the first Viper I tuned that's force inducted. It's actually pretty fucking cool. It looks pretty rowdy, so let's check it out. It has an ROE supercharger. It's out of Florida. So the problem with these computers is they don't really read high map pressure, so we can't read boost. So we have to scale the tune and do a few things. The other problem is this is a top mount unit and it doesn't have an intercooler. So there's no heat exchanger, there's nothing to cool down the air going in. So David finally got some water methanol in it. Last time I had this car, it was in just for numbers. It was on the same tune, it made about the same power. The only downside was the car was running rich last time and we could only do one pull before it heat soaked, and then the air just got extremely hot and cost us a lot of power. Right now the water meth is helping out a lot. After doing consistent back-to-back pulls, the air still gets hot, but we're no longer in the 150s. The hottest I've seen it is 113. So I am tuning it, as you guys can see. I'm almost done flashing, some more adjustments. AFR is more in line, it's where I like it. We're getting there. So after this pull, it's just gonna be timing. So I'm hoping I can add another 2 degrees based off of the base tune ROE sent. But that should give us plenty of power with 10 pounds. And we do have the octane for it because it has water meth. We're running the boost juice, so it's 50-50. So it's a really good blend. And let's see how much we can actually get out of it. So let's check some pulls out. Alright guys, so I think I'm about tapped out. I ended up hitting up my boy Mario. He knows these systems a lot better than I do. Being that it's the first Viper with boost that I tune, I want to get a second opinion as far as timing. We're seeing around 8 to 10 psi and we're around 17 degrees of timing. He told me that's a good spot to cut it off, especially with water meth. So we are going to leave it at that. So let's go look at the numbers. I'm still messing with AFR, timing not so much anymore, but this is where we're at so far. So just by leaning it out, obviously as always, solid first pull, 558 horsepower, 528. So just by leaning it out from 11 at this point and then dropping down to 10.5, well, actually to the point where it maxed out my wideband. It wasn't even, it was way more than 10.5. We picked up, if we go to 4,000 RPMs, we're at 560. Well, now we're at 606. So that's a huge jump in torque. Horsepower wise, We're at 456, same RPMs, 435, and now we're at 491. So 456 to 491, that's a good 30-some horsepower jump as well. Top end, same thing, 529, 530, 555. So that's how important fuel is in any car. NA, it doesn't rob us as much power as it does boost, but fuel is super important, especially when you're boosted, because that's what can save the engine, that's what can detonate it, that's what can grenade the whole block, can melt stuff if you don't have the right area fars. So that's when it comes down to. Obviously, as you saw, being too rich costs us power, and it's not much safer because you can run into washing down the cylinders. You can run into a few problems running too rich. Ton of black smoke, fouling plugs. This one, it's around 11.8. I'm gonna drop it down to 11.5 because he does road course it, so we want to be on the safer side of things. So I'll be happy at 11.5. So I went ahead and added more fuel. We're gonna do one more pull just to double check everything, and this car should be ready to go home in a few minutes. So as always, here's a little rundown, walkthrough, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's this car. So once again, rundown, it's an 03 V10 for those of you guys that haven't messed with a Viper or don't know what a Viper is. So it does have a V10 in it, positive displacement blower, it's right there. So I normally don't do pulls with the hood open, with the hood closed, because of air temps, but obviously when you have a blower sticking out of the hood, we were more than likely gonna get fresher air with the hood closed than with the hood open, and that's what I saw. Before I was seeing temps of up to 113 when I'm doing back-to-back pulls. Now temps stayed at from 79 to 84. So that's a huge 30 degree jump. We are back in line to the first pull I did air-wise, so I'm pretty happy. Those are pretty accurate gains that we're seeing now. So overall, this car is great. I'm pretty sure it's making more power. I'm just not in 1-to-1, because as it is, I'm hitting 110 on the mile per hour. If I take it to fourth, this thing will probably take it up to 180, and that's a ton of mile per hour, and I just don't want to risk it. So we are doing the cars and the pulls in third gear, so it's not, I'm pretty sure it's not 1-to-1. I wouldn't know the gear ratios on this. I don't know if the tune says it. Oh, actually no, it is. Yeah, third is 1-to-1. Yeah. So never mind, I am in the right gear. Oh, not bad. So yeah, that pretty much concludes today's episode. I will do one more pull, and if I do see some more gains, obviously I will get back to you guys. If not, this will conclude today's episode. I'll just leave you with one more pull, and I will see you guys next week. So once again, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Tell me what else you guys would like to see. If there's something you guys want to test, want me to test or whatever, I'll gladly put it up. So leave a comment, guys, and I'll see you next week. Alright guys, I lied, the video didn't end there. I did 2 more pulls back to back, looking for consistency. So we are safe to say AFRs were pretty consistent. Down low it's slightly off, but obviously that has a lot to do with how the way the methanol is spraying. These were back to back. I didn't even shut the car off between pulls, and I'm still happy where they're at. Down low we're 11.9 or 11.8, which isn't crazy because it's not like we're spending too much time there. But the previous pull to that, we were in the 11.6s, so we're still pretty solid. With meth, it's just hard to keep consistent AFRs. Top end AFR did go rich. Some of that I blame the wideband. For some reason these sensors I've gotten have made it really hard to get readings off of the tailpipe at higher RPMs, higher pressure. So disregarding that, top end with the hotter temps from hot lapping it, horsepower did drop, but the down low and torque is still insane. So there's obviously some gains here. It's just top end. Like I said, we are comparing numbers from temperatures in the low 70s when I did the first pull to temperatures in the high 90s, low 100s over here, which is where I was seeing these last two pulls. But it's one of the things we have to do. We don't always just chase numbers. We chase consistency, we chase reliability, we chase a few of those things. So I don't know how the hell I locked myself out of this car. Thank God it's a convertible. So yes, we chase all that. So doing all these tests back to back and stuff like that helps to see how the car is going to react with hotter air temp, how it's gonna, if it's gonna be safe, if it's gonna pull timing, if all that is gonna be good. So that's why I decided for my last two pulls to do them just back to back, to get the air as hot as possible, make sure AFR is gonna be good at that point, and just keep going through that. So everything was pretty safe. Even then, we still, the dyno is showing 544, and the first pull we did was 537. So it's still 7 horsepower that we gained just off of tuning fuel alone, which is what this car really needed. Coolant temp stayed at 176. Air temp we hit low 100s. So obviously from 70 to 100 is a huge jump in air density. So that's obviously going to affect horsepower readings. But like I said, we are trying to get the most out of it, make sure the car's going to run good in all conditions. I've had this car where it was running with 150 degree air temp. We've had it at 77. Lately I'm still in the, I think the hottest I got it today was 124, and everything was still good. So overall I'm happy where we're at. We are going to call it a day now for sure. As soon as Dave gets here, we'll probably do one pull for him and we'll unstrap it, and we'll wait for his testimony. He does road course this car, so I don't know if he has kind of social media or something like that. If he does, I will get that information and I will add it in the comments if you guys care to follow this car a little bit more. But now we do conclude today's video. So once again, thank you guys for stopping in. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, let us know what you guys want to see. And we do have a merch drop pretty soon. We are getting some hoodies on order, so we should be seeing those on the website pretty shortly. So all right guys, I will see you next time.